Hello and welcome back to my YouTube video. Yet another reaction video. Thank you for stopping by. For those who are new, hey, how's it going? My name is Murphy. I'm a personal trainer by day and a wannabe athlete by night. And for those who are a reoccurring subscriber, nice to see you again. I react to videos that I come across on Instagram that have gone somewhat viral. And me being a personal trainer, I give you my insight and kind of maybe break down certain videos that are fitness related. So, no more rambling, let's get to it. This in your back.
It's a back exercise.
Well, technically, it is a back exercise. However, there is nuance to it though, depending on if you're taking yourself through certain movements and you're trying to engage certain muscle groups. So let's say that movement in particular, a lot of people will do it because they're trying to engage their hamstrings or glutes. I'll probably say hamstrings is the most part that you're going to get the furthest in most engagement. But there are certain movements that you want to really hammer down the mechanical aspect so you don't feel your lower back too much. Of course, your rectus spinae is kind of involved in that bend in motion of the spine, flexion, extension of the spine, but to what degree? You want it to be involved, obviously, in order to keep your spine safe, but you don't want it fire in too much more than any other muscle group on certain movements. Like I said, it depends on what you're predominantly. I can't even speak. I started choking. It depends on what you're predominantly trying to train in that particular movement. So when it comes to carrying out the movement with my clients, I want to make sure I hammer down the mechanical technique so they don't feel their lower back like tensing up too much. Like, of course, it's a back exercise. Your back needs to be switched on in order to take you through the hinging motion, but you can hammer down technique to a point where you almost won't even feel your lower back anymore and your hamstrings will just take over. Oh, a little hack right here. So if you're doing tricep extensions, it's a pretty cool hack to kind of lock your elbow in place with a Smith machine. Now, will other people who want to use the Smith machine kind of be pissed off? Yeah, because you're doing tricep extensions on just Smith machine. But I probably advise doing this maybe in a quiet period of the gym, if there isn't too many people around, because people just get pissed off. That's all, because they want to use a Smith machine for that particular exercise that requires a Smith machine. But this is cool because a lot of times when you're doing tricep extensions, your shoulder tends to be almost like the weakest point, so it tends to move more, taking away the emphasis of the triceps engaging. So locking yourself in place is definitely a cool hack. This next one has no sound to it. It just says "Dear Jim." I just know it's gonna be a fail, because yeah, if like anytime I see kids lifting, I already know something's gonna go wrong. Oh damn. Damn, that's tough. That's tough. It's good when, especially if you're gonna be using a squat rack machine, to make sure the squat safety mechanisms are kind of in place to save your life. Really, that's the whole point, to save you. As you could tell, he kind of steps too far back. That when he goes into the squat, there's no way for the safety racks on the side to even help him out because he's already past and beyond that aspect. It's a good thing he's super flexible. As kids should be relatively durable in their mobility, that it doesn't really affect him too much, I'd assume, because it looked like a pretty graceful collapse, I should say. POV, your lifting strength does not translate to your bounce. As you can see, he was trap bar lifting quite a pretty big amount, and he can't really jump that much. Not too surprising. Yeah, your fiber makeup is a type 1, type 2 fiber. I believe type 1 is your slow and most strong and powerful muscle fiber, which just helps to generate force, but not in a not so fast way, if that makes sense. It's just your strength fiber. The type 2 is the fast twitch one, which you need to fire as quick and as elastic as possible. And so I'm mentioning this because you can train one of the two. So type 1, you could train that and it won't translate into your type 2 as much. You could train type 2 and it probably wouldn't translate as much into your type 1. So for the most part, it's good to do both of them together so they complement each other. Type 2, like I said, you need to be training in fast ways. You can train with weights. Just you got to focus on the mindset of exerting yourself as quick and as powerful as you can in that training format. And it's not how do I say this? It's not a training format that you want to push to exhaustion. It's about power output, so how much force you generate in that moment. You want to give it your 100% best. But with other type 1 training, you can go to failure to certain degrees, but type 2 starts to suffer when you go to failure. Ever since I was a G, I've been You can clearly tell this is kind of fake, only because when I say fake, in the sense where she didn't run 5 kilometers in 18 minutes and the pace was 3 minutes 45. Judging by how she's running in this video, I can tell she's exerting herself quite a bit. That there's no way she maintained that pace for 5 kilometers. If you ever even run 1 kilometer, that's already pretty hard. Now to do 5 kilometers at a 3 minute 45 pace, a lot of people would probably average maybe a 6 or 7 minute pace for keeping a bean, but 3 minutes 45 is you're at a really ridiculously fast, efficient pace. But you can tell it's fake. So the only way this is possible is she probably would pause the Strava every time she finishes the first pace. Maybe she would sprint on the first kilometer. Even then, I don't even know. I don't even believe it. But hey ho, I'm gonna look at the comments and see what people are saying. This first comment says, "You look like you could hold that pace for about the length of this clip." And that's 44.6k likes. I mean, like I said, it looks very it looks truthful. That comment looks truthful. I can't say anything else. Someone else says she does sprints and logs them as one workout with Strava for some reason. The proof is on her page. Well, that makes sense then. So she'll probably do a sprint and like maybe a 1 kilometer sprint and then like pauses the Strava and then it logs that pace. So that makes sense why her pace is so fast. Another one says, okay, so I found Strava. It's a legit time, but there's no way that she was the one wearing the watch. Okay, fair enough. I'm not too fun. I don't know how Strava works too much. I'm pretty sure you have to press the time and it starts to log your pace, and it keeps a track of it on your account, depending on if you accomplish new time per distance. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's how it works. Another one says, "There's no way you're running like that. It looks like you are struggling and running heavy." That's true. Oh yeah, that's true. It does look like she is pretty flat-footed too. So there's no way. Ever since I realized you could just sprint, then pause the run and repeat it over and over till you've done 5 kilometers, I can't trust people online anymore. Okay, I didn't know that. Well, that's what I was actually suspecting was the situation in this. This last one is a challenge. So, can you do it? So I had this challenge already stored in my phone, so I just thought I'd just post that. And of course I had dreadlocks, so this was filmed in December last year. When I gave it the first go, I just thought it was too flimsy, so I thought I'd give it a go again. In a more so controlled way. And of course, success. I just thought it was a little bit too easy. Hey ho. Thanks for watching all the way to the end. You did watch all the way to the end, right? Like always, leave a like and subscribe, and I will see you guys when I see you guys next time. Peace.